bought a couple of different profiles, which are going to go all around the perimeter of the house, so we can screw the corrugated panels everywhere we want. We custom made two different profiles. One is a small omega shape. The other one is like a Z and then a return, and that is gonna be our starting profile. It's gonna be all the way in the bottom. Panels will be sitting on top of it, and I will be starting the line of the facade. Probably it's not even necessary to do that. We didn't do it for the cabin, but it's just a nice finish, and it didn't cost too much. It probably was like, honestly I don't remember, but probably like around 30-40 euros more. But it's just, it looks fantastic, and it's gonna be nice, and it's gonna be even easier to install, because once we put that first profile, then we just sit the panel on top of it, leave it there, and we can screw. You know what I mean? Our toolshed has seen better days, and we are debating whether to build a small one to replace this one, build it properly. We already have some black panels from leftovers from the cabin. I mean, it does the job, but it's just worn out, and it was just a temporary thing, and it's been almost 2 years since we built it. Leave it in the comments. Do you want to see us build a small tool shed before we jump on the other property? We also bought these screws with the APDM washer, and they are all painted in white. They go really well with the trims that we bought, that we ordered them white as well. In a few days we're gonna see a black cabin and a white, somewhat translucent workshop. I don't know if you guys saw, our neighbor Antonio is like probably like 90 years old with his super fast truck. I want to be like him when I am 90 years old. He's like working all day. Now he's probably going to take care of his bees, because he has like bees everywhere, and he makes his own honey, which is pretty good. He's a badass man. Measure twice, cut once. We don't have leftovers of this, so we make a mistake. If I make a mistake, then we need to order a new one. 202. 202. And I want to cut them with a meter, so they are like 45 degrees. That will be somewhat risky because that corner is pointy. If you catch your leg, it might hurt you, but then everything will be covered. Not sure if it's a good idea to do 45 degrees here. I want to close pretty much all the gaps from underneath to avoid too much air going inside the building. This 45 degrees will close a big gap in the corner. This is the corner I'm referring that it might be dangerous, you know, it's too pointy, but I think we'll survive, hopefully. By the way, I am not alone today. Lolita is here. Watching from her favorite spot underneath the solar panels. Lolita, are you sad that the solar panels are gonna be moved from there? I think we're gonna put a cat door somewhere here. Not too sure yet. If she likes the space, then we will do it so she can open it and close it. Lolita, what do you think? Shall we? She doesn't care. We are planning on cutting just one side, so we leave this factory edge to avoid rust as much as possible. The corner that we cut, we will paint it with anti-rust paint. We know that Lolita is construction worker cat because she's not afraid of the grinder anymore. I can cut and she stays cool as a cucumber. there is a turn here and then another turn. This little flap sticks out. The facade is gonna sit on top of this guy. This is actually not 90 degrees, it is 95 degrees, so it is tilting like out and down. That way any water that hits here will go out, and we separate the facade from the main structure. The omegas are custom bent to the same depth, separates from the structure the same on the bottom than in the middle from the omegas, and the top that will have another omega. First bit is broken. That was an old one though. This is the corner that we need to be careful with. Now I'm gonna paint this edge pretty quickly, and then I think I'm gonna continue with this side. What's this, Eugenia?
Visualize.
This is the first one we're gonna, it's gonna be the first one I try. Now I think after finishing this, I'm gonna grab lunch. Eugenia has been preparing lunch for the last 20 minutes. I show you the mistakes because I think it's important for you to see that not everything comes nice and easy. This is how all the corners should look. This is how the most important corner came out. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I could edit that out and not show it in the video, and I will look like a superhero in all the videos, but that's not the point of our channel. We're just sharing with you guys what we do. These things happen in all the building sites, and all the builders make mistakes like that. Probably don't show it to you when you go grab the keys of the property, but they're underneath everything that you see. Anyways, no big deal because we won't see it. I just wish it was done perfectly, but it is what it is. Eugenia is here editing some videos. How are you feeling, Eugenia?
Tired.
I made a mistake. I have to show it to you. And nothing big. Just made a salad from the garden, and I cooked like some chicken that I left cooking for pretty much the last 3-4 hours. It's sitting there simmering. Looks pretty good. Are we ready for lunch?
The potatoes are in the oven.
Oh, we have potatoes in the oven. The idea is to put this first wall first, and then that portion of the roof. And before continuing putting the rest of the cladding, we are gonna put all the solar panels on top, just because we will have better access to the screws and everything if that portion over here is open, you know what I mean? We're gonna close that wall, we will close this part of the roof, and we're gonna leave this one open so we can go in the ladder over there and access to the screws of the solar panels. And once all the solar panels are put there and working, we will continue covering the rest of the house. Sometimes we receive comments asking, what about if you're building this alone? And like today, I'm working alone. It broke. This morning I didn't know how I was going to put these long horizontal pieces, you know, because they are long and horizontal, and it's kind of complicated to put it just alone if nobody else is grabbing it from the other side. Just the last one, I realized that I was able to do it very easily. I came over here, as you can see, and put this clamp. I have the pencil mark where I need this profile to be. It has to go over there. So I just put this roughly where it needs to go to lay that end of the profile on that side. Then I come here and I put it like nicely where it needs to be. So you can see it's just right there. Put a screw. Now I can release this one, put it there, remove that one, and then just start screwing in the middle positions. That way it's like working with someone, but alone. Not sure if this helps anybody, just in case. This is how I'm doing it alone. Alright, I think Not quite sure if I'm gonna keep working or not. Not sure what the next step is, to be 100% honest with you. I think that's it for today. No light at all. You can see, no, you can see anything though. So I managed to finish the first two lines completely, and the third one, the third upper one, just missing the rear facade. So I will do that tomorrow, and then I will start with the roof tomorrow as well. So just needed, I don't know, like 10 minutes more of light to do this, but I mean, done a lot today, so cannot complain. Probably I'm gonna be buying soon like a flashlight for my head, you know, so I can keep working. She's been disappeared from the construction site. She doesn't want to work anymore. I think you guys need to leave a comment to get her back to work with me, because I miss her, and I'm sure you miss her too. Just leave a comment if you want to see this beautiful lady working with me again. I already finished putting all the omegas. That way the facade can span from the bottom to here to there, all the way to the top. And I just need to do the triangle. Meanwhile, Eugenia was supposed to be working inside, but instead she's working outside, just removing weeds. How are you doing, farmer? Not bad. What are you gonna do with it?
I leave it here.
Hopefully today I can leave everything ready for first plastic panels. we're gonna have a use channel over here. That's going to be the first screw of the solar panel, and we want the panel to be sitting flush to the facade pretty much. The location of this channel is gonna determine where this panel is, and also we're gonna have higher U channel here, so it's gonna push out the panel a little bit more, which will push out this corner more. It's not simple mathematics. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this in the video because it sounds way too complicated to put it in a vlog, but if I do, this is what is in my head right now. I will go to the computer and try to draw everything up. These are the holes of the panels. They come already pre-drilled, so it's gonna be a U channel, which is the same than this, but without the vents here. The location of that U channel is what I was referring earlier. Will be determined by the location of the omega channel that is gonna be underneath, supporting the roof. So yeah, I just need to figure that out, and that will be the top one, and the bottom one is over there. You can see the hole. I have my trusty co-worker here. She's taking the break right now. She's always ready to help, you see. Lolita, I might need help soon, man. No? Little bit more? She's a Spanish cat, so it's nap time right now. Anyways, I'm not from Spain, so I'm gonna keep working. So I just finished installing the last one over there. Borderline was very high, and I don't really enjoy being that high. But anyways, it's done. Now I just need to trim that guy and that guy. For this side, I will just be missing one U channel over here somewhere and another one over here for the solar panels. Working the computer a little bit just to figure out where I need to put the omega channel for the solar panels. So it will be 23 centimeters up and then 140 up from there, and I will be lining up with the holes of the solar panels. Hopefully I do it right, and basically I'm gonna try to somehow draw like a perfect straight line. The omega channels are not like 100% straight. I'm not too sure how to do it. Maybe I mark a couple of points and then I go with a long ruler and draw a line. We'll figure out as I go. I'm gonna try putting a string. I don't think it's gonna work because I don't wanna drill it. I'm gonna try clamping it and see if I can pull some tension. I clamped a string there on this side, pull it really taut from the other side, and I clamp it again. And now I have here, it's underneath this. I'm not gonna move it because I don't wanna set it up again on the other side. But here underneath this is my pencil mark, and on the other end there is another pencil mark, Now I'm gonna go with the pencil and continue marking all the middle joists, so I know exactly that it's a perfect line, you know. You can see, because the omega channels, as you can see maybe here, I don't know if it's gonna catch on camera, but as you can see, they do like whoa. The holes of the panels are exactly in the same position in all of them if I want them to have perfect alignment, which I do. I think this is the closest I'm gonna get. The material that we picked a couple of days ago, there was some confusion when we got there. We thought it was going to be a little bit more translucent. When we got there, it was pretty much white, and we got like some of a shock, you know. So we said we discussed different things, and I don't think we understood each other when we placed the order. That's what they call opal, which is like frosted. Opal for us means a different thing, and in many other materials means a different thing, like what we put in the door of the cabin. It is more translucent. I don't know if it makes sense for you, but you can see through a little bit. And this one is pretty much white, and also we saw all of them stacking on top of each other. It looked even more white than it is. They offered us a refund, and no big deal. We got the profiles and we left. Went to buy some pottery that Eugenia found a shop that has high-end pottery at very low prices, because they are like maybe has some little things that they don't make it to the actual store, and they look fantastic. So we went there shopping for some pots. We left the store, and I was thinking that actually the white translucent material could look very neat. So we decided to come back and get the material that they cut for us. They did cut it for us, and we felt a little bit bad, but that was not the reason. The reason is because it is going to be even better, I think, than what we plan on ordering. We're very happy that this mistake happened, because it's gonna look very, very good. And also we have the feeling that every time that a mistake happens is for our own good, and this particular occasion 100% is gonna be for the better good, because I think it is gonna look so good. We have the panels there already, and we were like doing mock-ups yesterday after offloading, and it's gonna look so good. We are now ready to start installing the front facade, and before that we need to trim the door. To do that, we order a custom profile, like a J shape, and also it's turned here. So you can see here it says a regular cut, and on the other side it's bent, so it comes back, so it doesn't cut you when you are using it. It's sitting over there all the way to the top, and then the facade will come inside, so we will have like a nice finish. And then on top it's going to be something like that. We need to add another omega here just to support this guy once we cut it. Eugenia is going to be cutting this guy, and I'm going to be adding a small tiny omega there.
I'm going to be cutting this?
Yes, by hand.
Oh.
You're supposed to cut this kind of trims with metal scissors, but we don't have one, and the ones that we have are just too dull to cut it, so we're gonna go with the grinder. And we're gonna cut the top one, just because the bottom one we're gonna leave factory edge, because it's gonna be exposed with a lot of water. I think it's better to cut the top one, which is gonna be less exposed to water. We just realized that this panel is cut by hand on both sides, so there is no factory edge. Kind of complicated for us, because now we will need to, I don't know, somehow cut a straight line in order to sit it on top of the bottom profile. It's not square, not at all. We're drilling a hole that is larger than the screws. That way, when the sun hits the panels, this panel will expand, and we leave some room for the panel to expand in the hole, because if you screw everything just super tight, when the sun hits very hard in summer, it will make everything will be like wibbly, and we want to avoid that. That's why we are making a bigger hole on the panel and then attaching a thinner screw through that hole.
Train ride just to see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you.
ended up drilling more holes and putting more screws in the middle part. If we don't do it a day that it's too windy, this will make so much noise. I think it looks quite good, and at least now it doesn't sound when there is wind.
Not quite sure how I'm gonna do that just yet. Need to talk to Eugenia and see what she thinks. But she's preparing lunch. Aspen is here, waiting to see if there is some leftover. Qué bien te queda el workshop. ¿Tan single focus?
Are you single? Are you single? Which one is your cat?
This is my cat. This is my cat too.
I said earlier that we were going to add extra screws in the middle only. It felt a little weak and we ended up adding extra screws as well in the bottom at the top of the panel.
This way we see the shadow line like even more.
Printed letters.
So we have the shadow line is in the same distance, and also the printed letters are covered.
Yeah.
Let's show the printed letters. We have some ugly letters there that I don't really know why they put it there, because it already comes with a sticker. It says this side up because it's the side that should be looking at the exterior, because it has like a UV protection. But then it also has a sticker saying the same. So you don't really need that. I don't know why they do it. Anyways, and we have decided to maybe cover it. If we overlap it like Eugenia just did, we don't see the letter. And also, very important, very important, this shadow line here is now at the same distance than this one in reference to the main door. So if you do like a symmetric line, that shadow line and that line are exactly in the same distance from each other. Eugenia, you look good, Eugenia, with the white. I'm having a little bit of a problem here. This screw is too long and it's hitting the structure. And as you can see the screw there, because the screw is too long, it's pushing the omega out and structure in a little bit. I tried to drill both to see if we can get the whole screw through the omega and through the structure, but there is no way to line them up. It was not noticeable on the outside, but then when I went inside and I looked from the bottom, I could see that the omega was bending out and the structure was bending a little bit in. So in order to avoid that, what I have been doing, remove all the screws from the top, cut the point,